We're going to look at a few additional reports that may be helpful to you in your teaching during the school year. To access our reports, we want to go to Analyze, Additional Reports, Run Reports. And this will run report windows. Now there's a vast selection of reports that you can run, but we're going to look at a few of them. First one we have here is the student password report, which is located underneath the access passwords. So if a student has forgotten their password, you can generate a report for the students in your class once they've registered to access the student portal, and you can come up with a list of what their passwords are. So by clicking on that, you choose the track that you're teaching that year. So in most cases it will be the current school year, and we're going to go to next. Select the class that you want a report generated for. In this case, we're in the art class, so we're going to choose that. And the students, so we can select a single student or we can select all students in the class. We can also include inactive students in this report. So those may be students that have been involved in your class in the beginning of the year, maybe transferred on to another school or another class later on in the year. You can include those as an inactive student in this report. So I'm going to choose all of them here by leaving them blue, hit next. And by default, it comes up as an Acrobat report, which is for the most cases all that you're going to need. It'll launch it into a web browser for you to view, and you can print it off from there. So if I process the report gets generated in a web browser, and as you can see, it lists the students in this particular class, their login names, and the passwords that are associated with them. So this is a great way to generate a report in that way for students' passwords. So the next part we're going to look at, I'm just going to close this down, go back to our Students Achieve. Back under our reports window, which we accessed from the tabs in the front from Analyze, Generate Reports, is we're going to look at users and hit counters. So let's say you wanted to get a view of who's actually using the parent portal or the student portal to view online the students in your class. You can generate a report from in here. So under user hit counters, you see login history report. Click on this. Again, you have to go through the same steps of choosing the track that you're in, most likely the most current school year that you're in. So I'm going to select next. In this case, I'm going to select all my classes. So these are the classes that are associated with me as a teacher. It could be an individual class that you have, or if you want to generate a report for all the classes that you have, you can just simply go and select all. Now, if I didn't want to select everything, I could just individually choose through these dialog boxes. So I'm going to select all, hit next, again defaulted to an Acrobat file, and I'm going to process this report. It takes a couple of seconds to generate it. So here we have, in this case, only one parent and who the student that they're associated with. And at the end it shows us the hit counter of when they've logged in, how many days ago, and a total hit count. So that'll give you a great indication as to who's actually using the portal, and you can view when the last time they were on. And the last report I want to show you, again under Analyze, Additional Reports, Run Reports, is a very useful report that can be used. It's a class roster report. I'm just going to click on that. And again, we have to choose the track that we're wanting to associate. I'm going to, again, select the art class that I'm teaching in this particular case. Hit next and process the report. Again, it takes a minute to generate it. So this is basically a class list with blanks located at the end. It can be great for if you have additional content in the school, like pizza collection or field trip collection or books that have been signed out. You can print off this report and list the categories along the top and check in, check out who has taken advantage of the opportunity that you have. So again, just a great way to print this off and keep a record for yourself. Now, if your records change, so the students in your class change, either new students come or other students leave, you'll have to regenerate this again by going to the tab on the front screen, the Analyze tab. But if nothing changes, inside our Analyze additional reports, previously generated reports will bring up all the reports that we've generated in the past. So instead of having to go through the steps of choosing the class, choosing the student, or whatever, if it's the same information that you're looking for, you can generate that report from here. So we can just download that file again. But again, if any of the information in your class changes, you'll need to regenerate that report from the Analyze additional reports, run reports, and choose the report that you want to run.